Hey guys, I just wanted to come on here really quickly before I run out. Oh, it's been a long week so far. Man, I'm exhausted. I've seen 18 clients in the past 3 days, which isn't, it's not totally unusual, but I'm ready for the weekend. But also, I love those people. They are some of my most favorite people in the world. Yeah, and anybody out there who's in therapy and doing their work and stuff, I just want to say from this side, so much respect, so much respect for those of you who continue to dig into your subconscious and your curiosity and your exploration into the unknown, because it's terrifying. And many, and by that I mean most people choose not to do it. Doing your work in therapy is absolutely a hero's journey. It is reserved for the most courageous of us all. And as a therapist, and as a human being, really, it irritates the fuck out of me that people who are in therapy or who seek treatment for mental or emotional difficulties are labeled as weak. It drives me insane. And you know what? The people who are labeling people that way are the ones that are weak in actuality, because it takes a lot of fucking courage to look at yourself in the mirror and to do that in front of a stranger. So if you are out there and you are doing your work, I know it is hard and it is grueling and you feel nuts sometimes, and then you feel like you have all the answers and then you're like, what am I doing? Like, if you're in that phase, then you're doing therapy right. Congratulations. But anyway, I wanted to do this video because there was a conversation that I was having with a client, and I thought it was I just love this topic. We were talking about the belief in there being fate or destiny, and that it's kind of like this predetermined event in your life that you don't have any control over. And if that's true, then what is the role of choice and free will? And this is kind of the way I see it. There are certain agreements that you make on a soul level before you enter this life, in terms of experiences and lessons and connections that are going to lead you to higher levels of self-love and consciousness. And those are your fate. You are fated to have those experiences. However, because we're human beings, we all have free will and we all have choice. So when these opportunities come around, you do get to choose it and you do get to not choose it. So your free will kind of directs the motion or, the timeline of your life in terms of how or if and when you learn that lesson, or you have that experience, or you have that connection. And this is where karma comes in. If you choose not to go down the road that you were fated for, the karma is that you will continue to spiral in that. I think karma gets kind of labeled as punitive, or like a tit for tat that the universe does. I really don't see it that way. I see it as, you had fate, you had destiny, you were given the opportunity to do that, you chose not to, and now you're going to get another chance to choose it. So you're going to keep going round and round this tree until you choose to stop. You choose the right direction. Right being to choose to have the experience that your soul made an agreement to have. So And that can feel, I mean, people say karma is a bitch, and it can be for sure, if you continue to not do the thing that you were encouraged to do by spirit all along. And how do you know what that is? It's through your heart. I think, with the over involvement of the masculine identity, and again, I'm not saying this is like men versus women. I'm not saying men are assholes and whatever, we need to do away with them. I'm just saying that there is an over exaggerated value placed on the masculine thought form and way of doing things, which is very logical, very rational, very regimented, and goal-oriented, and very active and directive. Like, that is a very energizing place to tap into, and it is purposeful, and it's very useful, and just fucking lovely. Love that. Also, it's not the only way, but what's happened is that we have been encouraged to assume that role in everything we do, so that the heart, which is the feminine energy, has been downgraded to something lesser, something you need to just shove in the closet and don't talk about. That is the place, though, that spirit speaks to you. And when we're talking about destiny and fate, that's where that information is coming from. It's not coming from your head, where you need to analyze things and put it together and figure things out and make a plan or what. That's not how inspiration comes to you. That's not how God talks to you. God talks to you through your heart. God talks to you, spirit talks to you from your intuition, from your feeling centers, from emotions. Now, I know that there's a resistance to having your heart lead the way, but I think that's because we have not experienced the divine feminine in its full power, because it just hasn't been prioritized. What we've mostly experienced is the distorted feminine. So the distorted feminine is extremely emotional, volatile in that emotionality, maybe even manipulative in emotionality. There's also a piece here of sexuality that can be manipulated by the distorted feminine, which is a whole other. I am going to get to that. I really want to start talking about that, but right now I'm just saying that the distorted feminine is basically all of our experiences with the feminine. It's why, the blame is always on the mother, because the mother holds the feminine aspect. But the feminine hasn't been fully expressed to the degree that it needs to be in order for humanity to have had positive experiences with the feminine. So therefore, the feminine isn't trusted. The feminine isn't trusted not because it shouldn't be trusted, but because our joint collective experience with the feminine has been based in a distorted feminine, a feminine that is not able to ground her emotions, is not able to, and not her, but emotions, right? Because we all have masculine, we all have feminine. It's not divided by gender lines. It's present, both are present in all of us. But our experience with the feminine has not been grounded for the most part, unless you have somebody who embodies the feminine energy, who has done a shit ton of work. This is like my goal. It's my calling. I am very much in my feminine energy. I mean, obviously I'm a therapist, and I do Reiki healing and energy work and intuitive counseling and all of that. So all of that is feminine energy. But the difference is when you are able to ground and have stability around your emotions, that's when you're in divine feminine. And I don't think it's very common, because instead of encouraging all of us to experience our emotions and work through them and find a way to manage them internally, we've been encouraged to push them down, sweep them under the rug, and just ignore them. So I think most of our experiences with the feminine have been distorted, and that's why it's looked at, like the aspects of feminine energy are looked at as second class, as dangerous even. So yeah, that was kind of a long-winded. I didn't expect to go for 10 minutes on this whole thing. I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. I thought it was a really interesting topic, and maybe some of you are interested in that kind of stuff too. But yeah, that's really it. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here. I hope everybody's having a great day, and that you are taking care of yourself. And I will see you next time. Bye.